Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am your undead host, Brandon Perna, and it's been an interesting week for NFL news. It appears Aqib Talib actually shot himself in the leg. Roger Goodell died on Twitter, but was resurrected by the Lord of Player Prosecution, and the Broncos visited the White House. On the way there, they watched White House Down, Olympus Has Fallen, Veep, House of Cards, Independence Day, Deep Impact, Dave, The American President, Nixon, All the President's Men, Air Force One, and any other presidential-themed entertainment you can think of. What? It's a long flight. That's good sports. Primary colors: The West Wing, Mars Attacks, First Kid starring Sinbad, The Sentinel. In hilarious news, the NFL Twitter account was hacked, and the hacker, with all his hacking power, posted this tweet via the NFL Twitter account. "We regret to inform our fans that our commissioner, Roger Goodell, has passed away. He was 57. Hashtag RIP. I would hope that if Goodell really were dead, the NFL would not hashtag it with RIP. I think a more appropriate hashtag for the death of the commissioner would be hashtag suspended for life or hashtag I will fine you from the grave." This tweet was up for 4 minutes, and in that time it received 792 likes. Does that mean that 792 people were happy he was dead? I hope if my death is announced via Twitter, nobody likes that tweet. In fact, if I do die, I want you to reply to the tweet with a bunch of dick pics. That would be hilarious. Except for my grieving mother. Yeah, but still do the dick pic thing. Game of Thrones fans can relate to this story. Roger Goodell was thought to be dead for 4 minutes, and heartthrob of the North, Jon Snow, was dead for 10 months between seasons. One avid Game of Thrones / NFL fan was quoted saying this: "The difference for me was that I wanted Jon Snow to return from the dead." Goodell's resurrection felt more like if King Joffrey were resurrected. He then yelled, "Free Brady! Free Brady! Free Brady!" Well, that's a bit harsh, especially considering that Roger Goodell actually showed he was human and does have a sense of humor when he posted this tweet as a response. "Man, you leave the office for one day of golf with @JimKelly1212 and your own network kills you off. Hashtag harsh." I almost feel bad for the commissioner because he had a rough day on Twitter, as this picture was posted on the Only in Boston Twitter account. That's right, this fan, Jim Podanovsky, had the balls, the nuts, the baby brains to flip the commissioner off in this photo at the Jim Kelly golf tournament Goodell just mentioned. The worst part about this picture is that it forces me to say something that makes me fucking sick inside. I love this Patriots fan. Now, if I had the brains required to hack the NFL's Twitter account, I believe I would have tweeted something much better than Goodell is dead. Here are my top 5 choices for tweets that should have been tweeted. Number 5, it's the NFL's official opinion that Alex Smith is the most boring quarterback of all time. More boring than even Kyle Orton. Number 4, despite previous reports, all Pro Bowls will now be played in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Hashtag fuck your vacation. Number 3, yes, we lied about concussions, but that's not even close to the worst thing we've lied about. Winky face emoji. Number 2, baseball sucks. And of course, if I got in there, the number 1 tweet would have just been, I'm gay. As I mentioned earlier, the Broncos did visit the White House, and if you haven't watched the full Broncos trip to the White House video, you should. It's on the NFL YouTube channel, which has yet to be hacked. I wanted to point out some of the highlights from the event. The first thing I noticed is that former Bronco David Bruton got prime real estate right behind President Obama. He was even closer to the president than Peyton Manning. Now, how did an ex-Bronco player pull that off? Maybe it's because he now plays for Washington, or maybe it's just because David Bruton is a really fucking nice guy. Obama did call the Broncos defense one of the greatest of all time.
You don't do that without one of the greatest defenses of all time.
He even pointed out a fact that I did not know.
All in all, coordinator Wade Phillips' defense led the league in 19 statistical categories.
I didn't even know there were 19 defensive statistical categories. Just like I forgot Obama was still president. His best joke from the event was this.
We can't forget to mention the heart and soul of this team's offensive firepower, kicker Brandon McManus.
I am a bit surprised that the president didn't refer to McManus as the Gooch Destroyer. There was one gaffe during Obama's speech. He said,
"You know where to turn. It's Peyton Manning."
Yeah, but then he turned the wrong way.
Where'd Peyton go? He's running inside. There he is.
You know where to turn, it's Peyton Manning, but then he didn't fucking know where to turn. That is gold! That is gold! Finally, at 8:43 in the video, I got a good look at Ty Sambrailo, whose nicely feathered hair convinces me that he should be starring in the Roadhouse remake and not Ronda Rousey. Jesus, Ty, even Swayze would tell you that the 80s are over. We've received news that the bullet wound Aqib Talib sustained somewhere in Dallas entered his right thigh and exited through his right calf. According to forensic scientists, that's a classic I shot myself in the leg trajectory. The NFL has promised Plaxico Burress a cushy front office job if he can confirm Talib's wound was self-inflicted. The bad news is Talib may be facing criminal charges from the Dallas State Police if he was in possession of a gun without a permit, if he was at a nightclub with a gun, and if he was intoxicated while firing a gun. There's still a lot to be learned about this incident, and I hope for Talib's sake that Roger Goodell likes him more than he likes Tom Brady. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Subscribe to this channel, That's Good Sports. Give me a follow on Twitter at Brandon Perna, and if you already follow me and you want me to follow you back, just ask me on Twitter to do it and I'll do it. I'm no asshole, I promise. Check out my friends at the Mile High Report at milehighReport.com because we're on the internet right now. Where else would you look for it? London Has Fallen, Birth of a Nation, Murder at 1600, The Brady Bunch in the White House, and of course, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I could go all day.